Hello everyone joining the stream. Welcome to round 3 of the Tier 2 Championship here at OBF1. We are racing at Australia here tonight. It's going to be an interesting race. It was a great battle. Well, the last 2 races we've had on this new F122 game have been great. We have removed formation lap though. That's the only difference due to some bugs. So just to make it fair, we have removed formation lap, so we won't see that. We do have all the drivers in. So we can actually ready up. So, who actually won it last time? Saudi Arabia. So we had Snitsy who won it at Saudi Arabia last weekend. Followed by James and then James again. James Nate and then King James were the podium setters with Snitsy on top. Obviously we had a few retirements, Hawkpie, Mosh, CDM and Mohammed. CDM hoping he can actually finish the race today. I just want to make sure you can actually hear me, because I don't actually know. Let's have a look. YouTube. Right. YouTube. Yes, you can. Sorted. That's all I wanted to know. So let's get this underway. Who the hell is screaming? I'm gonna close my window. So it is 7 o'clock. We've started on time, which is unusual, but let's get on with it. So it's great to see nearly a full grid as well. 16 drivers here tonight. Not very often we see that. Also, if you're watching and you want to get involved in the racing, go to our About section and you can join the Discord through there. It is a PS4/PS5 league, so if you're not on them consoles, sadly we can't get you trialed until they eventually bring crossplay out. But that's probably going to be broken as well, to be fair. Great job. So we're just waiting now for people to put their setups on, and we'll get underway for this 18-minute qualifying session here at Albert Park in Melbourne. Obviously we have a debut on today of Hassel. We have got a car going out. It is Jen Serino going out, and I can't change the camera type. There we go. See that? So we got Hassel, who is going to be making his debut for the OBF1 league here tonight. Anybody else? No, we got Jason, who has retired already. I think he was in the pits. Yeah, thank you Neil Moser for that. So we've got a dry race and a dry quali session.
Dry quali, dry race, pal. Your mic is quiet.
My mic is quiet. Is it better now? Is it better now? Maybe you just need to turn your volume up, Jim. Because it sounds fine on my phone. I don't know. Let me know. Yeah, so interesting to see Jason retire so soon into the qualifying session. Don't think he's running a quali ban.
Sounds good. The cars sound fine though, so I don't know. Better now.
Great stuff. Right, so we've got Jen Serino, who was...
ban.
Oh, right. I've completely forgot about that. Right, that's fair enough. So Jason's on a quali ban. that is why he has retired so soon. Hope you haven't forgot your setup. But Gensarino coming through Sector 1, taking it nice and easy. Let's get the telemetry. No, we don't want that telemetry. Yeah. We'll leave it as it is. Run. That curb is extra slippy this year. He's got a purple Sector 1, obviously he's the first one. There's a 27 point something. Now through another part of the new layout at Albert Park. Just a long straight down to the chicane. We've got a spinning or slow moving car. Hit the curb nicely. You can cut a lot of that curb there, which Gensarino chose not to do. Ken has retired from the session as well. Not sure where that is. I think that's on track. Gensarino opted not to go on the curb there, which is quite an interesting choice. You can gain a lot of time. Runs it very deep through there. I don't actually know the corner numbers. This is terrible stuff from me. But takes a very tight line. The DRS wide open. Now going to cross the line with a 119.3. That's a decent first lap to set. So we have, I think it's Mank coming across the line next. Nope, he's coming into the pits. Who else is coming across the line? I think. Alright, so we got James Ney coming across the line with a 119.9. Puts his Aston Martin there in P2. Next one to cross the line is going to be, if I can find him, there he is. CDM with a 120.2. That's a pretty slow lap there from CDM. King James with a 120.3 and Pistol Racing with a 120.8. I'm quite shocked to see CDM though with a little bit of a slow lap. That's quite a shock, really. So we got Neil Moser. He's invalidated his lap. So has Snitsy. We got another car out on lap. Is that Gensarino doing another lap? No, he's slowing down. There was a Williams. Oh no, always grinding. Loses it on the curb that I was on about earlier that I said is quite slippy in this year's game. Gotta be very careful going over that curb, otherwise that stuff will happen. Let's have a look. Who's on a lap? Hassel is invalid. Invader's invalid. Mohammed Guna. It sounds like I got a cold. I don't. My nose is blocked, so just ignore that, please. Thanks. Coming through Sector 2 now through the chicane. Doesn't opt to cut as much curb as possible. Now this is a tricky part of the new layout now. That sharp 90-degree right-hander opts to stay off the curb. You want to come off the throttle nice and early there, otherwise you can run it deep. Mohammed Guna doesn't run it deep. He has got a car blocking him, but I don't think he's going to cause too much trouble. He's going to give him a nice double. Mohammed Guna is around on the final corner. That is disappointing. So we have got always grinding coming across the line now after that spin with a 130. Obviously he spun, so he's not going to have the best time. We're going to have like a Hassel now, who still hasn't set a lap. He's going to look to set one ASAP. He's got a 47 in the second sector. Runs nicely over the curb. Doesn't lose it a little bit, which can happen on these curbs sometimes. Around Austria, it is notorious for it. Opts to use a little bit of the curb, which is a good idea. Comes off the throttle, hopefully. Runs it a little bit deep, and he's invalidated his lap as well. Right, we got Invader, who set a purple Sector 1, so he's looking good for a good time at the minute. Let's see what Invader can do for Mercedes tonight. Obviously, there's not much to say here. He's got his foot flat down on the straight, hits the curb nicely. Avoids taking too much curb on the exit of the chicane. DRS wide open now, coming to the tight right-hander. Again, these drivers opting not to use the exit curbs as much on that corner. It can help you get a decent, even quicker lap time than avoiding the curb. Oh, and another driver fallen victim to the 90-degree right-hander. We got Mohammed Guna, who is coming into the pits now. Let's have a look at that car in Sector 3. It is James Ney. He is on an out lap, so we won't look at him at the minute. Jen Serino still with the fastest time on another out lap at the minute. Pistol Racing on an out lap, always grinding. Is on a timed lap. Let's stick on board with him. Oh, yeah, he's backed out of that. So we've got King James on a lap. He's a second down, so not much to watch there. Let's have a look. Anybody else on a lap? Hassel. I don't know if he's going to be doing another lap. He is already on 4-lap old softs. Let's have a look. Who's on track that's not doing an out lap? Schnitzy's invalidated. Mosh is in Sector 1. Currently sitting in P13 for Red Bull. Takes a lot of exit curb there, but not enough. I mean, not enough to invalidate, which is good. Coming down to the long new straight that cuts straight across the I was gonna say the chicane. It's not chicane, is it? Well, technically it is. Coming up to the original chicane now. He's got a purple Sector 2 time. Runs. Oh, we almost invalidated coming out of that corner. He doesn't. How's he going to handle the 90-degree right-hander? Brakes nice and early. Uses very little curb. The Mercedes in the background using the curb properly. But Mosh looking like he's going to set a good lap time. All he's got to do is not foul to spin in at this last corner, which a few drivers have already tonight. Mosh is looking good. His DRS is wide open now, as his foot is flat to the floor, and Mosh puts his Red Bull in P5. Nobody can beat Jen Serino's time as of right now. Hassel retiring from the session. Maybe doesn't think he can improve his lap time. We got Mank currently on a lap as he opens his DRS to cross the line with a 1:20.2. Good enough for P3. He's going to be a little bit disappointed that he is still about a second off P1. Who else have we got on our lap? We got CDM out on another lap now. Right on board, shall we?
Send us an invite. I'll join comms if you want.
Oh, Marcus. Marcus will join us on comms. Let's do that. Alright. Oh no, I can just add players, can I? Let's add. Are you showing us online? No. Okay. Straight down to the S's. Where are they? Short Marcus. Invite. Right, and same for the session. How do I actually invite him here?
Hello.
Hello, I've got a little bit of an issue.
Oh, what's that?
It's not coming up with the invite option.
Is it one that you've invited through a group or something?
No, it was just an invite only session, but it won't actually let me invite you.
Oh.
Race director? No. I'm very confused.
Might be able to request to join if I go on your name on online, I guess.
Yeah, try it.
Give it a go.
While we're doing that, we just see Mank invalidate through the...
That is a bug in F122. If someone lags out or someone isn't in the session, it won't allow you to join.
That's a bug in F122. If someone lags out or someone isn't in the session, it won't allow you to join. Right, so apparently it's a bug.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. EA and Codemasters at its finest there. So who's currently on a valid lap? CDM's coming into the pits. We got Team Red on an out lap. Invader is currently on a cooldown lap, regaining some ERS. Don't know if he has enough fuel to do another lap. We have Snitsy, who is on an out lap as well. So it might be just a good idea to keep an eye on the ones on an out lap. It's quite strange it's not working.
Yeah, your showing is offline, so it's not saying you're in a game, so I can't like request to join or anything.
Alright, what if I start appearing online? Let's try and work this out.
Another option. I might just watch your live stream.
You can comment on past stuff that's happened. Right, online status, appear online. Right, let's just try that first. Right, I'm appearing online now. We got Team Red currently on a lap as well in the Mercedes. Let's see if he can set a decent lap time as we ride on board with him through.
It is not strange, it is stupid how they missed it before releasing is a joke.
That is true. Well, they missed a lot of things before releasing the game, so. Team Red running very. Oh, requested to join. You will send a game invite to this person. Okay, send in. Did you get anything?
Ah, look at that. That works. Yeah, got
Look at that. Worked a treat. Team Red currently 7/10 up on his previous best time. Short Marcus has joined the session. That is great news. Team Red crosses the line, puts his Mercedes P4. And there's another Mercedes of Invader following him very closely, but P7 only for Invader. So as it stands currently, we've still got Neil Moser in the pits in P1. There's 3 minutes left, so I'm assuming these drivers are going to come out again to try and set another lap. We got Mosh, who's currently a 10th down on his previous best time.
Don't be surprised if in F123 they forget to release the cars. Emoji rolling on the floor laughing.
Oh, Mosh didn't validate that. That was quite surprising. Obviously, it's interesting to note the track limits around Australia is not the white line, it's actually the yellow line as well. Which is kind of confusing.
It is.
But, Hassel has said, don't be surprised in F123 they forget to release the cars. At this point, I won't be surprised.
Absolutely not.
Mosh has just set a 120. He's improved by 3/10. He's put himself P7 right behind his teammate of Pistol Racing. You wasn't here for us in the last race, was you? It was Mitch that was commentating with me.
Yes, Mitch joined you in the commentary box, didn't he?
He did. Did you see the race at all, or?
I didn't. No, I didn't have a chance to. Was it a good race?
It was a good race. It was. I think the field started separating out a bit, separating out again. If I could speak English, that'd help. But I think the safety car really brought the field back together, and it was a really good race to the end. As we see Snitsy was spun at the final corner. That final corner a little bit more slippery on this game compared to last.
Certainly is. You've got to gain the lap time. You've got to get on the power very early, but especially if you're running no traction, it's the back end steps on you about midway through the corner. It's a very difficult one to get right.
Yeah, that could catch a lot of people out tonight, especially in the race. It could be a little bit of an issue, really, in the race if they're all bunched up together and one spins and don't ghost.
My first race in OFB1, looking forward to battling. Hopefully can get a full-time deal.
Torino's out and in the walls, as I say that. He has taken turn 1 and 2 very nicely indeed, but just ran a little bit wide in 2 and ended up spearing into the wall, and that's his qualifying over.
That's a little bit disappointing. James Ney as well invalidates on that new tight right-hander. Took just a little bit too much curb going through there. Let's have a look there. Is that an Alpine on a lap I see? It
No, I think
is.
both Alpines have invalidated.
It is an Alpine on a lap, but he is invalid. He is pitting again. 42 seconds left. Let's try and find someone that is currently on a lap. We've got King James 2 seconds down, so he's not going to be improving. Mohammed Guna coming across the final corner, lucky not to invalidate as he runs over the exit curb. Now here comes the tricky part, whereas quite easy to spin, especially if you're in the wrong gear. He doesn't spin, gets right up to the exit curb, opens the DRS, foot flat to the floor, comes across the line with a 121. It's only good enough for P12. There's an AlphaTauri behind. I think that was King James. There is Mank on an outlap. Is he going to make it? There's 7 seconds left. He's not going to make it. So Mank hasn't made it. Pistol Racing still on a lap though. Couple of thousands down. Not by much. He can still improve. Mohammed Guna disqualified for going the wrong way. CDM retired, probably in the pits. No, it's not. He stopped on track.
And that does and will drop him to the very back of the field as well. It will wipe any lap times he set.
Oh, Pistol Racing running very wide onto the gravel. It's going to slow him down a lot. He didn't invalidate because obviously it slowed him down so much, but that is going to really affect his race, and that might be P7 cemented for him.
Yeah, Neil Moser was on a lap, but he's invalidated, so he's not going to be improving. But I don't think anyone's going to challenge him here.
Yeah, so King James loses it on the final corner as well, so that's going to be his lap done. So that's P11 for King James. Neil Moser, you said invalidated, right?
Yeah, I believe I saw him. Yeah, he's coming in the pits. So
Have fun commentating.
like
Looking forward to watching
qualifying.
the stream back after the race.
Thank you, Hassel. I hope you enjoy your first race with us tonight as well. And hopefully you can get a full-time seat soon. Obviously we've got the tiers kind of full at the minute, but hopefully you can eventually get a seat. Make sure I'm on the right one. Tier 2 Australia.
Looking forward to seeing what you can manage on your debut. Those were saying before Genserino went in the war, I was looking at that time. I know I did a bit of practice the other day, and I was struggling to get in the low 118s. So Neil setting a lap time of 118.8. That's a very, very quick lap for Tier 2. He's 4/10 clear of Genserino. That's a cracking lap, that is.
It is a really good lap. I've still got a few cars on track at the minute, I think. Is it a glitch, or have you just got a few cars just running around on track?
I think that would just be Pistol and Mank, maybe whoever crossed the
There we
line.
go.
Yeah.
So as qualifying finishes, your grid is P1 is Neil Moser, P2 Genserino, always grinding in P3, CDM P4, Team Red P5, James Ney in P6, Pistol Racing P7, Mosh P8, sorry, Invader P9, Mank P10, King James P11, Hassel P12, Kenner P13, Snitsy P14, Jason, who served a qualifying ban tonight, is in P15, and Mohammed Guna in P16. Obviously, there's no formation lap tonight due to the recent bugs we've had.
Straight into the action. See, Neil's got that big gap, as we say, to Genserino. Be interesting to see whether Genserino can close that up in the race. But after that, it is very, very close on the times, as we always see in Tier 2. They are so closely matched.
It is. So we've had, we had great racing in Bahrain. We had a lot of action. It's pretty difficult to commentate on because we didn't know exactly who to watch because there was action all through the midfield. And then the fight for first really spiced up towards the end as well. I think we had the same in Jeddah as well, so it's going to be interesting to see who comes where tonight.
Certainly is. Quite a few messages in the chat, people struggling with the new updates, which changes the handling model. And I have joined in a Ferrari at the back of the grid.
You've joined a Ferrari?
I am in a Ferrari at the back.
Right. You can either just do a lap slowly and just retire in the pit.
I am on controller.
I think if you retire straight away, a safety car's going to come out, isn't it?
Yes. Let me... I'm going to change it to automatic gearbox, because I don't know how to change gear on controller, and I'll just drive around slowly at the back.
And then just put yourself in the pits and retire.
Yes, I will have a brilliant view of the start.
As we've
But I'll
got
let
the
you
5
take the
red
lead.
lights, and away we go. Yeah, away we go. Neil Moser looks like he's got a good start. Neil Moser gets a flying start compared to the rest. He's going to be happy with that, but Jen Serino still keeps P2. CDM is into P3 now as well. And CDM's in a wall. That's CDM out already. Team Red's retired from the session as well, further down. That is a disastrous start from the 2 drivers. Did CDM retire? No. CDM didn't retire.
CDM is still going.
So it was Team Red that retired. And we've got short Marcus in P16 now.
Yeah. Can you just don't watch me, because I cannot keep the car in a straight line. I'm not used to driving on controller.
So that was one of the most dramatic starts we've had this season. Interested to note, Neil Moser and Pistol Racing and Mosh have opted for the soft tyres, while Mank has opted for the hard. So has J7 going for the distance on the opening stint. Not a bad choice really, especially if you're serving that quality blend that J7 is. Pistol Racing also has lost his front wing in the opening laps. We have got a safety car, so you could retire anywhere really. It wouldn't really affect it.
MOG man face bombing. MOG bomb.
Pits. I noticed we're all sat 7 seconds in the green on the Delta back here, so everyone just taking it nice and steady on the way back. It'll be interesting to see if anyone pits.
It's going to be interesting. Pistol Racing's lost his wing, so he's definitely going to be diving into the pits. It's going to be interesting to see what tyres he chooses as well. CDM, another one that's going to be diving into the pits. Interesting to note, he could have possible damage to the floor after that.
CDM's in the pits, definitely.
And we've also got Hassel in the pits as well. So it's going to be... Oh yeah, we got short Marcus who can now officially join us in the comms box.
Do you know what? I'm actually quite proud I managed to lap on controller without crashing. Even at slow speed. I think that's an achievement for me. But anyway, back to the reality of the race.
Well, to be fair, it is quite hard to drive on a controller. I tried it and it was like, nah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I think it's what you're used to as well, isn't it? I'm used to actually driving with a wheel and pedals, but yeah, on a controller it's just difficult.
So as we stand now, we got Neil Moser and Jen Serino, who are currently first and second. They haven't lost or gained any places. We got James Ney, who has gained 3 positions due to the incidents that occurred. We got Invader, who's up 5, I think. I can't really tell because of the water in the background. Always Grinding has lost 2 positions. King James is up 5. Ken is up 6 positions. J7's up 7. Snitzy's up 5. Mohammed's up 6. And then we got Mosh, who's down 3. Mank down 2. Pistol Racing down 6. Hassel down 2. And CDM, who has dropped 11 positions on that race start.
Yeah, it's not been a good start for Pistol or CDM really, has it? They've unfortunately dropped quite a few places. But with the safety car, you know, it means certainly like CDM getting the pit stop, he bunches back up to the back of the field. He's on, you know, fresh tyres, see what he can do, fight his way back through. All is not lost. And also, notably, I've just noticed, Neil Moser on soft tyres, only driver at the front to do so. Obviously, he's lost that advantage of those brand new softs right at the beginning now, hasn't he? The extra jump that it's going to give you.
Yeah, but the main thing is these soft tyres now, they will go a little more further into the race, not much, but the safety car is going to help him in terms of tyre wear.
Yeah. Absolutely. He will start struggling for pace as the mediums come in very quickly. It'll just be interesting to see how that sort of balance swings between the 2 Alpha drivers, one in Alpha Tauri, one in Alfa Romeo, and see where their pace is really.
That is true. And Well, so far we've had 2 races, 2 different winners. It's going to be interesting to see who actually wins this race, because it's open to anyone.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's anybody's guess. Do we have safety car reduced or standard? I can't remember.
It should be on reduced.
Yeah.
Yes, Seddon lad, let's have it this time.
You see, safety car is going to be coming in this lap, which is a good call there from the race director.
100%. Neil Morza backing up the field massively. He wants to get as much room from that safety car as possible. Right, 2 seconds.
And this is a very, very tricky phase. Keeping those tyres warm. It's all about, it's like having a poker face. It's not letting your opponent know when you're going to go. I always found doing a restart, go at the worst possible time, because it's the time that they will not expect it. And it looks like he's gone, and Genserino has gone with him.
So Neil Morza obviously not getting off to the best restart. He has got that battery to help him try and gain an advantage. But them soft tyres, 3 laps old now.
We've got a spinner, it's Invader.
That is another Mercedes around. Was there contact, or did he just spin?
I believe he spun on his own. I didn't 100% see. I just saw him going around in the background. It didn't look like there was any contact with anyone else. Could well be cold tyres. I also noticed as well, CDM has pitted for fresh mediums as well. So not sure what that was about. Maybe just wanted to have those mediums back on.
That is a possibility.
We've also got Jay Seddon as well has now dropped it and is round.
Yeah, these drivers finding the new layout around Australia pretty difficult by the looks of it. We've had a few...
Currently attempting an Austin Powers 3-point turn here.
That's how we like to see it.
Absolutely, as he eventually gets back going.
Right, Neil Morza is now out of a second of Genserino as well. There's a few bit of action going on further down in the midfield, as I spoke about in qualifying. The midfield is really close this season, and we've got Snitsy right on the back of Kenner. Obviously, we haven't got DRS, as Neil Morza set the fastest lap, due to the safety car. But Snitsy was thinking about making a move there. Jason disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. Did he get beached in the gravel?
It does look like he possibly is, because his car is sat there on the edge of the curb and his back wheels are just spinning away. So I think in turning around he's got himself beached.
That is really unfortunate. Obviously, we know it can happen on this game now, due to the new physics models and stuff. You can actually get beached in the gravel if you're unfortunate.
Yeah, as we see Pete making a move on his teammate. Mosher now dropping down even further again. It looks like it's cost the Red Bull driver there.
There we go. We got James Ney on the back of Always Grinding, who is currently dropped back about a 2-second gap from the 2 in front. And it looks like he could lose another position shortly.
Yeah, I think Always Grinding's just made a move on James Ney, because I think James Ney was in third just now. But you're right, they have dropped off the leading pair, unfortunately. Neil Morza, already nearly 2 seconds ahead of Genserino, who in turn is over 2 seconds ahead of Always Grinding. So it's quite a lead being stretched out up front, and then it sort of tightens up as we get towards the mid-pack. And we have a big train from sort of 6th downwards. King James, and we've got Mohamed Guna going up the inside at turn 1. And he backs out the last minute, and his McLaren teammate is round as well.
He's lucky that Red Bull and Mosh has binned it as well. That's probably going to be another safety car. Mosh just lost it on his own. Yeah, that's another safety car.
No surprises there. It's going to be safety car central tonight. And that really does wreck any chances. I think Neil Morza really does wreck his strategy, doesn't it? That does that gap on those brand new softs, and now it's all being reined back in again.
I think the best option he's got now is to get off them softs. I don't think hards would go to the end, would they, from here?
I think you'd make him last, to be fair. But the problem is, if you're having so many more safety cars in this race,
That's true. Your best
He's
bet.
best off staying where he is and then pitting in a bit, but you can't predict. We may not have another safety car for the rest of the evening. Which case,
No,
going
that's
for
true.
hards right now is a good shout.
And it's weird to see CDM. Obviously, he got demoted from Tier 1 last
Hearts will
season.
make it, I believe.
And he's currently sitting in P12. And we know CDM is a pretty quick driver on his day. But he's not really shown it tonight. Got a few drivers now in the pits. We got Hassel who spun. He's coming off them softs. King James sticking on the hards. James Ney has also just stuck on the hards. Genserino has also got the hards on.
We've got both, as you see, Jason and Mosh not happy in the chat, so there'll be a few incidents for the stewards to review after this race.
That is true. Also, we like it when we don't have a lot of incidents because it just means we've had a good race, but these things happen sometimes.
They certainly do, unfortunately, you know, as well. Hassel TTV nuns wide under safety car and gets himself a time penalty for his troubles.
He's not going to be happy with himself there for that. That's a bit disappointing, especially under a safety car.
Yeah, I think he's going to be kicking himself with that one.
Interesting to note.
Yes.
I don't know, that's it really.
Just interesting to know. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to come up with something very insightful there for us to digest.
Nah. Right,
Wonder
so
how they are doing with tire temps.
Okay, so here's one for you. That right-hander, the one that CDM's coming into now, the new profile of that right-hander,
full
what do you
racing.
make of that? They've reprofiled it along with a few other corners on this year's game to keep it in line with real life. Now, how are you finding it?
it's difficult to find the right line, but I think I've worked it out.
Yeah.
I think I've sussed it, and I think if you get it right and you go over the curb but miss that red bit of the curb and you manage to use a lot of exit curb and don't have wheel spin, you're on for a good lap time. That's in qualifying.
Sounds like a lot to get right.
It is a lot to get right. Your safest bet is to avoid any sort of red curbing on the inside, on the apex.
Yep. It is quite a curb on the inside, that one.
And avoid the exit curb to be safe.
Yep.
But that does also lose you a good 10th in about lap time. Could even be up to a maximum of 2/10 through that corner.
Yeah, I'm finding it difficult to carry the speed into it. Even last year's game where it was it was a bit more of an acute angle, but it was profiled a bit differently. You could seem to sort of carry more speed in. It was more of a natural sort of curve into the corner, whereas this year it's a bit of an odd sort of opening. It's very wide on entry and then sort of narrows in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. I think they've changed the not the final corner, but the one before the hairpin.
Yeah,
well.
the whole last sector is sort of opened up and a bit wider, isn't it now?
That is true. And we have the safety car coming in now. Always grinding, staying pretty close to that safety car, not really letting it go ahead as much as Neil did when we had the first safety car.
And he has dropped it.
He's dropped it under the restart, and that's led Snitsy, our previous race winner around Jeddah, into the lead of the race with Mohammed. Oh, he's lost it again in the background. The two Alpines have lost it in the background, sorry.
Yeah, not a good race for Alpine. I think Otmar Safnauer is going to be kicking himself.
He's not going to be too happy, is he? We got the Mohammed Guna, looked like he got a little bit loose on the exit of the that corner there. But he's looking okay now. He's run wide and he's binned it. He's in the wall, and that's probably going to be a third safety car.
I do hope not. Let's try and get some racing. It seems to be staying green for the meantime. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But that was another big accident here in Australia. You always get them around this circuit. The walls are very, very close, and it's a very fast circuit.
Yeah, it is, and it's not exactly the grippiest circuit we have on the calendar either.
Absolutely not. As we see Neil Moser, pitting from the lead onto fresh hards. He's, only dropped to 6th. He's up to 4th already with those mistakes from Mohamed Guna and Always Grinder. And so he's sitting very pretty there.
It's going to be a good race if he gets this strategy call right, if he can take these hards to the end. Or if he can have a quick change onto some fresh rubber during another safety car, if we get one. Hopefully we don't, but...
Absolutely, but Genserino seems to be finding these hards much better than Neil is, because although he was struggling to keep up with Neil earlier on, I know he was on the mediums, Neil was on the softs, but he seemed to be all over the back of Neil on that last sector.
That is true. Mank, I think it looks like he's struggling as well. He's fallen away from the lead in 2. And Neil Moser is catching, and he will be looking to make a move shortly as well.
Certainly is. Snitsy is running away at the moment on those mediums. He will have to pit again. Same with Pete and Mank in 2nd and 3rd. Pistol keeping up with Snitsy. 2.6 seconds down the road, but he's again another 2.5 seconds ahead of Mank. So he's setting a good pace for himself out there.
Can he keep the pace up is the question, though. Neil Moser gets a great exit now, and he is looking on the inside to make a move in that sharp right-hander we were on about. They make a little bit of contact, but not too much. Neil Moser has got past Mank, and that's left Mank vulnerable to Genserino at the minute, who is looking on the outside of the hairpin, but he backs out really.
He is hanging on it in there, Mank, but looks like Genserino's got a bit of a run on him. Is he going to make a move up into the first corner? Looks like he's going for it.
He has gone through. He's got through before the turning in point of the corner, and that's a great move there.
And very key. He needs to keep with Neil Moser. If he's stuck behind Mank for another lap, that could pull a big gap out for Neil.
Yeah, he needs to hurry it up, really. We've got Invader as well on the back of Neil Moser's teammate King James, running very wide. That's helping get a pretty good exit, to be honest.
Certainly has. I'm sure he got a track limits warning for that, however.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much guaranteed, but he is going to make the move now on the inside. Down the straight nice and easy, and that's he just needs a good exit from this corner now to keep ahead. But King James looks like he's got a good run from that corner. He's also got DRS, but he's not close enough to make a move, sadly, for him. And we have got a yellow flag in sector 1. I think that's CDM again that has spun. It is CDM.
It is.
CDM having an atrocious time around Australia tonight.
Had a brilliant qualifying, but really struggling in the race as we see Snitsy going fastest lap, purple lap, and he's already pulled a 5-second lead over Pete, who is pulling away from Neil behind. But I'm sure Neil's going to be looking to make an indent into that time now.
Yeah, he's going to want to do it. Obviously, Snitsy has got the advantage on medium tyres. CDM spinning again. But
yeah.
Pete technically he's got the net lead, but they both still need a pit again, right?
Both Snitsy and Pete do have to pit again, yeah, because I believe... Snitsy started the race and that Pete did pit, but he's going to struggle to make the tyres last the whole race.
Yeah,
he may well be able to do it, but they're going to be screaming for mercy at the end.
That is true. We got Invader right on the back of James Nay with the DRS wide open. Can he close that gap and try and make a move into the sharp right-hander? He doesn't. He thinks better of it. I think he did have a little look, but he decided not to.
Rather interestingly as well, Genserino is all over the back of Neil Mozza. He seems to be stronger on these hard compound tyres, does Genserino. Neil Mozza is very quick on the 1 lap pace. As Mank is out, what's happened there?
But Mank just, I think he lost the rear end coming out of the chicane and couldn't catch it. I seen him hit the wall just about, so I think I'm just watching the stream back a second. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, he lost. He had a tank slap run. He caught it, but then the car went the other way instead. So yeah, he couldn't save it, and that's caused the 3rd safety car of tonight.
You see, unfortunately, very crucially, Snitsy is ahead and has lapped CDM, so CDM will be a lap down unless he can make a move past. But Pete manages to get himself a drive-through penalty for speeding under a safety car.
That's going to cost him a lot of positions because he's going to need to come off these mediums. But once the safety car goes in, he needs to serve that penalty as well.
Absolutely. Do you reckon Snitsy's going to go into the pits? Yeah.
I think Snitsy would be wise to put a set of hard tyres on now.
Yeah. If he does, I think so. If he pits and CDM stays out, CDM will be able to unlap himself and then get back onto the lead lap.
He is diving into the pits now.
So that is crucial. So yeah, CDM will now unlap himself as Snitsy's in the pits, and that means CDM can then race back around the circuit and grab onto the back of this pack. So that is a 3 lap back for CDM, and he very much needed it in this race.
He did. CDM has literally just been saved by a safety car. Interesting to note as well, we had an update for the game a few days ago. And tyre pressures, it's a lot harder to stop these tyres overheating.
Yes.
You've really got to lower these tyre pressures to keep them temperatures in check. Because I know I've been driving around in Grand Prix mode, just keeping to adjust the setups and stuff. And my tyres, they haven't got the highest pressure, but even still, they're reaching temperatures of nearly 102 degrees through Sector 1.
Yeah, it's very, very high. See, my setups, I don't mind telling you, my setups do tend to run very low front tyre pressures and very high rear tyre pressures. Which is quite unusual. I think most people tend to run as high as possible round.
Yeah, that's... I think mine... I can't remember what mine are, to be honest, which probably isn't ideal, but... I just know my front tyres get quite hot.
Absolutely, it's going to affect us all in very, very different ways. You know, we all have very different driving styles, different setups, way we like our cars to handle, and yeah, it's all going to affect us differently. But as we see, Neil Mozza then obviously retakes the lead with everybody pitting now, so nobody has to pit again for the duration of this race unless their tyres won't last.
No, that's true, but I think Neil Mozza will be buzzing with the calls he's made tonight. Obviously, he started on pole, kept the lead. Absolutely. He lost the lead when he pitted, but now he's got 8 lap old hards. This safety car will help his tyres get to the end, and he's currently in the lead.
But I would be worried if I were him. Genserino looked supreme on those hards, especially firing them up for that first lap. Genserino looked very, very quick. I would be watching my mirrors very closely if I was Neil, because I think he's going to have a mirror full of Alfa Romeo wanting to get past.
Well, you know, Alfa Romeo is the supreme car in the league.
It does seem to have some sort of OP patch on the Alfa Romeo, I think. It gives you extra performance.
Yeah, mate, you get 10 plus skill rating and probably about 50 extra brake horsepower.
Yes, yeah, I do believe so.
And I've just turned my volume down accidentally. Right, there we go, that's better.
Good at all as we wait for hopefully the safety car to come in. We do still have CDM to catch up. He's in a long way behind.
Yeah, I think it's gonna. We have seen the safety car at Bahrain make a very late call to dive into the pits, so it is possible that he'll get close enough and it will dive in.
I did a league race around Monza in the early stages of this game, and the safety car came in literally. I think it was about 50 yards before the pit entrance.
Safety car is staying out another lap, so Neil Moser.
Neil in the pits.
Interesting strategy call there from Neil.
That is a very interesting strategy call. So this will drop into the back of the field. Has he got new mediums? Are they new mediums going on?
They are new mediums, 0 lap old.
The game might say it, but it might be used.
CDM also opted into pit.
See, these will be the mediums that he started. Oh, no, he didn't start the race on, did he? He started the race on soft, so he does have a new set of mediums available to him.
And they are looking pretty shiny, so they are mediums. Only problem is...
they will... Yeah, this is it. Will they go to the end of the race? Lap 16 out of 29. Yeah, they'll go easily.
That will, but can he get through all this traffic?
It's going to be a big ask, but he's going to have superior tyres over anyone.
Yeah, I mean, Pistol Racing also on 2-lap old mediums. Hassel on 3-lap old mediums. Obviously, we've seen Hassel have some great pace. He was quite quick in the trial we done.
That is a bold call. It's one that, you know, starting on those softs has really given him that extra option. And moving on to a different subject, I've just noticed Hassel TTVE has no front wing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he is driving around with no front wing.
Oh, we had the Red Bull. What's going on in the mid-pack? We had the Red Bull of Pistol and Snitsy in the Williams. Really bunched up then. Look like they're going to cause trouble.
Don't quite know what's going on here. Looks like there's a few illegal overtakes going on. And this is going to cost them big time if they can't catch back up.
It's going to be an issue.
It certainly is.
The safety car is going in. And Snitsy has just got himself a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags.
And that is also, yeah, dropped them 7 seconds or so behind the leading pack. So that was a bit of a kerfuffle.
It was. Genserino, though, with a great start, really caught James out. And there's a second gap already, even before turn 1.
Amazing restart. Really judged that one nicely.
Yes, and his Genserino could be on for a good finish now. He's really strong on these hard tyres.
Pete and Snitsy going side by side into turn 3, and Pete gets the move made. And Hassel TV, it's not just a glitch on my screen, is it? He has no front wing.
No, he doesn't have a front wing, no.
But I mean, you look at on board, he doesn't look like he's struggling with no front wing.
No, he looks like he's really pushing, to be honest, it looks like.
Yeah, and he didn't pay it, so that is very strange, whether it's just a glitch with he's even set a purple middle sector.
I think it might be
wide there.
I think it might be a glitch.
It must be, because he's got way too much front end grip for no front wing.
But I know the front wing doesn't affect you as much, but it's still going to affect him.
Front wing, yeah. You do notice it still. You can live with it, but you do notice it.
Yeah.
To have no front wing at all makes a big difference. We see Pete coming in, presumably to serve this drive-through penalty.
Yeah, that will be it. I mean, the field now is looking pretty separated. We've got a few people battling. We got P6, P7, P8. Neil Moslett up to 8th place. Obviously, being a little bit helped with traffic as Pete pitted.
Ooh, he nearly runs in the back of all he's grinding there.
He was lucky to get away with that. When we got Hassel TTV with another 3-second time penalty. What is the penalty situation at the minute? Let's have a look. So we've got Snitsy on 5, Hassel on 9, always grinding on 3, CDM and Pistol Racing on 3 as well.
I've got to say, Neil Moser hasn't made any places on the restart. CDM was behind him because he pitted as well. Pete's come in the pits for his drive-through. Really not making the best use out of those brand new mediums. Struggling, perhaps, on mediums. Maybe his car setup's tuned to the soft compounder tyres and he's just struggling on the mediums and the hards because he was struggling for pace over Gentorino.
That is true. We've got Invader all over the back of Hassel TTV. Almost ran into the back. Was there contact? Oh, there's a collision.
There certainly was.
A lot of cars running into each other there. It's gonna cause. It's not gonna cause a safety car. Although we did see it in Jeddah in Tier 1 where I got T-boned because I span, and the safety car came out because I had excessive floor damage.
That has caused Neil to have to pit because he feels like he's got wing damage. And he certainly does. Brand new wing, and he's back on hard tyres, and that has absolutely killed his race.
That is, he was on for a good result today as well. That is quite unfortunate for Neil.
Oh, you got to feel for the chap, but back out in front, Gentorino comfortably holding a gap as always grinding goes out.
That is another safety car as well. The safety car dot is on the map, so that is what, the 4th, 5th?
Yeah, and this is the point where softs could probably last to the end. 10 laps might be a bit of a push, but with the safety car as well, is anyone going to pit for soft compound tyres? Snitzy's in, King James is staying out, Hassel's in.
Just abandon the race before someone gets killed. Emoji man face palming. Emoji grinning face with sweat.
So half a 20. Oh, I've got
He's getting a new front wing.
I've got some internet issues.
Hassel must have been out there with actually no front wing. Fair play to him. He was setting very competitive sector times considering he had no front wing. So my hat's off to him. It's very, very impressive. Gentorino, interestingly, gone back onto his mediums. They're 6-lap-old mediums. He feels like the softs won't last till the end. Whereas Snitsy, Hassel, CDM and Neil all gone onto brand new softs.
It's going to be interesting. CDM, if he can stop binning it, he could be on for a good result if he can get these softs to the end.
Well, all the drivers, as long as they finish the race, will get points. 9 people left in this race. Australia is always known as a killer.
That is true, and if we've had 4 safety cars, the race will still get full points, because half of 29, according to Google, is 14.5, so we'll round that up to 15.
Did you Google what half 29 is?
I did, because I haven't got time to do the mental stuff.
Do you not have a calculator on your phone?
I do, but, you know, Google Home is there, I could just speak to it quickly, so it's quicker. So, as long as we don't get another safety car, all the drivers will still receive full points.
Emoji face with tears of joy. Emoji face with tears of joy. Emoji face with tears of joy.
Any notifications on the screen of whether it's a safety car, when the safety car's ending, what sectors have got yellow flags or anything.
He's going to have to rely on them safety car lights. Did you say Kenner said it? Marcus?
What's that, sorry?
Did you say Kenner said that?
Yeah, Kenner said that.
Oh, well, I was going to say he's going to have to try and rely on them safety car lights, but well, he's out of the race, so it's not really going to matter. Just hopefully they can fix these issues.
Certainly is. Well, everyone's caught up to the safety car now, so we should be going in at the end of this lap.
I was going to say something, but I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, that's it. If you're still tuned in and watching this stream, if you do enjoy watching the safety car go around, please subscribe. You can join us as well at 8:30. And I've just got to double check my settings next time. I think safety car was on reduced, but I'm going to double check after this race to 100% make sure. But the safety car is in this lap. It's giving us some early notifications. It's normally a little bit later than this normally.
Yeah, it certainly is. We will see what's James Nay going to do on the restart. Yeah, 14 lap old hards, King James 14 lap old hards, Invader 8 lap old hards, and then we got Pete. Fair play to him. You know, even after the drive-through, this safety car really has brought him back into the game because he's back up to 4th.
That is true, and it's interesting to see what he could do. He's on 7 lap old mediums, and he's got Genserino, who has been quite explosive tonight. They're all going side by side. There's a lot of overtaking going on. I'm not sure if the yellow flags were still out then, or...
And that has caused absolute chaos on the restart. Genserino passing a few cars.
And he's dropped right down the order now, down into P7. As we get Pistol Racing running wide, he's got Invader to deal with in front as well. That's quite unfortunate there. So
all kicking off on this restart. I have no idea what's happened there as we got Hassel and CDM side by side. CDM is round. Looked like there was actually a bit of contact there. Couldn't see what actually happened.
I just caught it. It was... I don't know. I think it's not really a corner.
Looked like
you
a racing
go.
incident.
It did, yeah, but it's not really a corner you want to go side by side in.
No, 100%. It was not always going to end in disaster. Going side by side through there.
Hassel had a little look at Schnitzy through the chicane there, but they just about pulled out. Genserino, though, does go for the inside line through this tight right-hander. He has left the room. Oh, there's a car. There's King James has just binned it on that right-hander. He was sitting up there in P2, so that's giving Invader P2. Invader hasn't sat on the podium this season yet. He has got a few podiums at OBF1. Can he get another one again? It's been a while.
He's under pressure from Snitsy though behind on those fresh softs. It's going to be difficult to keep him at bay.
It is. Obviously, we got Hassel as well on his debut up in P4. He has got a lot of time penalties though, which will drop him back down.
That's very nice defending there from Invader as he gets a tap round from the McLaren by the looks of things, and he is spinning to the back of the field, absolutely gutting.
It is all kicking off on these final few laps.
It certainly is. The tensions are rising. Everyone's wanting to grab that last spot on the podium, and I'm sure that will be investigated in the stewards after the race.
I think it will as well. Right, talking about the stewards, let's quickly...
We've got to move for the leader of the race because Hassel is making a move round the outside of James Nay, got him into the braking zone, and our debutant is up into the lead. He may have an investigation hanging over him in the stewards room for that tap with Invader, but he is up into the lead, and that's a fantastic move.
And
And Snitzy's going for it as well. Snitsy going past James Nay as Hassel sets fastest lap on top to boot. CDM is round yet again. He's had a pretty awful race, it has to be said, this evening.
Yeah, CDM hasn't had the best performance. He is still recovering though from his hand, which could be playing a part.
Certainly is, as Neil Mozler and Genserino go side by side into turn 3, nearly contact there, and what a move for Neil Mozler around the outside. That's a fantastic move.
That was a beautiful overtake there from Neil. These two have been at it all race. It's great to see. CDM has retired. I think it's too late for a safety car. So, never mind.
Honestly, Kieran, just shut up.
Yeah. So that is...
Oh, dear.
So that does make the race null and void, which means only half points will be given out to these guys tonight.
And you can see why we run this rule, because obviously as exciting as this is to watch, it does become hit and miss and potluck, who wins, who doesn't. Calling the strategy is impossible. As King James gets himself a drive-through penalty, speeding under safety car, that's not good.
That's not. Hassel diving into the pits. I wonder what tyres he's going to go on. Do you only get one set of softs? Nope, he's getting another one. He is putting the soft tyres on. Snitsy opted not to pit. That's probably a wise choice. His tyres will go to the end, and the safety car's going to help that as well. So,
do you know what? I thought that was a silly move, but the fact that pretty much everyone has pitted behind him, I think that is a very good call.
It's lucky though, because it could have been a situation of no one else pitted.
He's lucky, absolutely, in that sense. As Invader gets himself a time penalty as well, but I think he's going to be able to get past Snitsy with no issues here, as he runs wide again under safety car and gets himself a penalty, and that is now 12 seconds worth of penalties, and I was just coming on to that. He may have the pace to win this race on track, but he's not going to win it. 12 seconds worth of penalties. I can't see him pulling a 12-second gap in the last few laps of this race.
No, he's going to have, what, 2-3 laps to do it. I think it's too tough an ask to get him to do it. Hopefully, Tier 1 will have a little bit less safety cars for you guys if you stay tuned. I have currently got a Mosh message, from Mosh. Mosh said he will go to Tier 1 if there's room. So I will tell him to sit in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, absolutely. As we wait for King James to catch up, obviously he's got that drive-through penalty. He can't serve it under safety car, so he's gonna have to serve that at on the restart.
Yeah, and it's at that point of the race now. If there is a major crash, I don't think another safety car will come out. By the time it's not even coming in this lap, so. It's been it hasn't been the best of races today.
It's been an interesting one to watch, and there has been some very good racing, but on the other hand, there has been some questionable racing, and the amount of safety cars it has put a dampener on the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, we have seen a lot better. So, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to subscribe. We want to reach 70 by the end of August, with 3 away. So if you want to help us get to that, it'll be appreciated. We reached our goal of 70,000 views by August as well, which is great to see. But if you want to help us out even more, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like. Even if you want to get involved with the racing, it's not normally this chaotic, not normally this many safety cars or DNFs. So go to the About section on our YouTube channel page, and you can join the Discord via the link. And you can also...
Absolutely. It is. It's always good. Tier 1, Tier 2 is always fantastic watching these races, because we do get some brilliant racing.
We do, and this season I think this season's been the most exciting season we've had as we get underway for the last couple of laps of racing. Again, obviously I think it's a one-off because we've had 2 absolutely amazing races in Bahrain and Jeddah. So I think this race will be a one-off. We got Imola next, I think, haven't we?
Absolutely. As we see Pete having a look at Genserino on the restart, he's managed to fire his tyres up nicely, but Genserino defending very well there, having none of it. And Snitsy's round, or
no, Snitsy just ran very wide. As we got Hassel out in the wall, he's out the race, but he's still in it.
Yeah. he probably would have dropped to the back with those time penalties anyway. But Snitzy's going back for the lead of the race once again after dropping down. He makes a move on James Ney. Neil Moser is looking to pick up the pieces, as is Genserino right behind.
Pistol Racing with a 3-second time penalty. Invader running very wide as well. Pistol
And
Racing
Peter's
has
in the wall
dropped
too.
down.
Yeah, looks like he lost it on the exit curb.
It's a bad ending for the race there for Hassel and Pistol Racing. Snitsy, though, gets back into the lead. Snitsy could, don't want to jinx it, but Snitsy could be the first driver in Tier 2. I'm going to say it.
Don't say it.
Okay, I won't say it. But it's a possibility. I'll say it at the end if it happens.
Yeah,
but Neil
James is in the pit.
But hats off to Genserino and Neil Moser, who have provided great racing throughout this race tonight.
Absolutely, it's been fantastic to watch. It really has. They've driven their hearts out tonight, and I mean, let's be honest. You know, who would you give driver of the day tonight to?
Neil Moser. Doesn't look like he got any damage from that though.
No. See, now I've cursed it. Commentator's curse is real. This is what I mean.
So Genserino, it's not the greatest way to get that position, but obviously he didn't cause the crash, so it's just I just think it's a little bit more satisfying to actually overtake them when they don't spin.
Yeah, this is true, and that's killed his rate. We got, you know, Snitsy in the lead, James Ney second. Both have time penalties. Genserino is in the box seat to win this, and yes, I'm going to say that. And just wait, I'm watching him, see if he spins now.
Well, Genserino is missing his teammate Hawkpie tonight, so he's going to want to try and coop up as many Snitzies around. Snitzy's lost out the final corner. That's give James Ney the lead. And Genserino has the net lead at the minute, and he looks like he could get it on track in the final laps. Don't want to jinx it.
Invader gets the fastest lap of the race.
Invader just needs a... Well, he's got the gap already, so what's his time penalty? It's 3 seconds, so...
Snitzy's round again at turn 1, so his tyre's on fire.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for Snitsy. Snitsy was looking good to be the first race of this season to finish the race in P1 twice.
What did I say? Don't say it. You started to say it.
It's stuff had to be said.
Invader's having a look at Genserino here. Genserino takes a massive cut on the inside of the corner there. Is Invader going to want to make the move? He's trying for the outside. Oh, he's off on the grass a little bit, and he's not going to make that stick. I don't think it matters anyway with the time penalties.
No, it was a bit of a risky move there from him, but luckily none of them had damage. Was there contact there?
There was. Invader's run into the back of Genserino, and that has just gifted James Ney the race at the second to last corner.
So James Ney has won this race. Genserino, fair play to Invader though. He stayed behind Genserino and let him finish in P2.
Yeah, hats off to him. I think he's going to be owning up to that one.
Yeah, that was even though it was his fault, it was good sportsmanship just to wait and let him finish in front.
It certainly was, and what a dramatic end to a crazy, crazy race.
Yeah,
I don't really know what to say after that.
That was insane. But P1 is James Ney, who's got his first victory of season 5, season 4, season 5. And he's got maximum points for Aston Martin as well, who I think really needed it, because if you look at the constructor standings, Aston Martin are 4th, and now they're going to be above Haas. So that's really helped Aston Martin out. Hats off to everyone that actually finished the race. Sadly, it's only going to be half points for this Wednesday due to the amount of safety cars. That's obviously one of our rules. More than half a race raced under safety car will be only given half points.
It's unfortunate, but I think, you know, when you look at the race as a whole, that is only fair. You know, well done to everyone that's raced tonight, but been a tough one.
It has been a very tough one, but it's also been a good one as well. When we was under green flags, it's just a shame we couldn't stay under green flags for a while. But that is it from.
Was Nay? And it was your first win?
His first win this season. I can't remember if he won one last season. I think he did. But congrats anyway for winning your first race in the new season on the new game. 3 races, 3 different winners so far. So it's looking up to be an interesting season, and I believe there's gonna be a load more races like it. And I've just noticed.
Yeah.
This app has just added most of the drivers. It didn't do that last week.
Ah, nice.
Right. Well, that is it from us. Join us again in about 15 minutes for Tier 1. Hopefully it's a great race for you, and we'll see you guys again.